Welcome to Youth News. I'm Bella and I'm joined by Anirudh and Greta. Our topic for today's session is colorism in South Asian communities. Colorism is a practice of discrimination that plagues many communities, especially South Asian ones. This prejudice towards people with dark skin complexions is so common that it shouldn't be a surprise that the skin whitening industry was worth $8 billion in 2020. A very notable skin whitening product is Fair and Lovely. We have one of their advertisements targeted towards South Asian women to show you.
Congrats, Sanam! अब तो तुम टीवी पे छा जाओगी। आंटी सनम का अपना शो। इसको क्या हुआ? मुझसे नहीं होगा। क्यों? ऑडिशंस के पिक्चर्स तो परफेक्ट है। वो समर के फोटोज हैं और ये विंटर का चेहरा। आम कोल्ड क्रीम लगाओगी तो ऐसा ही होगा ना?
सर्दियों में आम कोल्ड क्रीम आपकी फेयरनेस छीन लेती है। नई फेयर एंड लवली मल्टीविटामिन कोल्ड क्रीम जो दे फेयरनेस और कोल्ड क्रीम के फायदे।
Welcome to the Sanam Malik show.
फेयर एंड लवली मल्टीविटामिन कोल्ड क्रीम।
How was that?
Multivitamin gold cream.
I know.
Seriously?
Doesn't that bring back memories?
Yeah,
Yes.
like
Oh
the
my goodness.
stories. You know how they do the
The
the man
Yeah.
jealous and like the other woman.
Yeah, like, oh, she's jealous of the girl who's fair or like whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
The worst part is the interview stuff when like a dark skinned girl goes in, she doesn't get it. Like a
light
person
skin.
using Fair and Lovely
I
walks
know.
in and she gets it. I'm like, that's so.
Yeah,
That's
like
just so
that
bad.
doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
Like it's an instant. Like it can't
Yeah.
change your color.
Exactly. I don't.
Exactly what you have.
Has it ever worked? I don't think
yeah,
so.
exactly.
No.
It still made. You saw it made $8 billion. That's
Which
how
is-
obsessed people were.
which is-
I remember growing up, my parents would be like, "Don't go out into the sun that much because you're gonna get tan."
And
Yeah.
Yeah, and then now like most of us are like vitamin D deficient.
I literally
Yeah.
have a vitamin D deficiency.
Exactly. Like we have to take tablets now because like
I
growing
know.
up we didn't
Exactly.
have vitamin D.
And then we always had to wear these fair, like lightning creams. And I feel like in India, especially when people do their bridal makeup, they always use foundations that are like so much lighter than the skin
Way
tone.
lighter. So it
Yeah.
looks like very pale.
I
you
know, it's so different. I'm like, you're a totally different person.
Yeah, and this cream like appealed to like such a big crowd in India. Like
I know.
everyone, it made them insecure. Like they
Exactly.
showed this like gradient of women from dark skin to light skin, and they showed that oh, this is the image of beautiful, pretty.
Exactly.
And
That's
everyone thought that, and now
crazy.
they're like insecure, so they buy the product.
Yeah.
and
and
usually the models in those commercials are naturally
They're
that light
already
skin.
fair.
They're
yeah.
already naturally like usually from the north of India
Exactly.
basically, and which is very dishonest if you think about it.
I know.
Like-
And like, okay, in North, I feel like there are more light-skinned people, but in South, it's generally more dark-skinned.
Yeah.
But like, if you take South Asian movies, the female actress is usually light-skinned. And I'm like, how do you find the lightest? There's so many dark-skinned people. How do you find the lightest people?
Yeah, so
Exactly.
like I feel like for a long time in South Indian movies, especially Tamil, most of the actresses weren't Tamil. They were
Oh, really?
like
They were from
North
North India,
Indian.
yeah.
Like,
That's how obsessed they were with like
Yes.
fair skin.
Yeah.
And I feel like they would use that to be like, oh, dark-skinned people were poor people. Like if they wanted to show poor people in the movie, they would be dark-skinned.
Poor people
yeah,
and
from like
villains.
villages.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I feel like even more than like Indian movies, I feel like now we're starting to get that representation in American TV.
Uh-huh.
Like with
Like
Davy, I was just
Davy-
like, let's
oh my
go.
God.
Maybe
yes.
like the
I
first-
know I know you're acting crazy, but like I support you.
Yeah, doesn't matter how good or bad the show
Yeah.
is. Like we
Yes.
get representation.
It's
Even
like
Netflix.
you look like us. kind of a
Exactly.
thing, yeah.
And it's like it makes us or like what was that TV show?
Bridgerton?
Yeah.
Bridgerton,
Yeah,
I
it's
was like
season two.
obsessed. I
like
know.
the two siblings, they're considered beautiful.
They're
in the
beautiful.
show.
They are. And they're also dark skinned.
And yeah, they're not light skinned.
Exactly. And like I feel like I'm still waiting to see that difference in like Indian movies.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
should start like I think it's slowly
It's
getting
slowly
there.
Hopefully.
getting in.
Because like most of the actresses now, even though they're light skinned, we're getting some like authentic
Yeah.
like dark skinned people
Dark
that know how to act.
Mhm.
Like it doesn't matter if
Exactly.
the light skinned actresses know how to act. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
the other dark skinned people, like they know how to act and they're like going up there.
Exactly. And I hope that keeps changing and like improving because like for the longest time we didn't have any representation. So we're gonna look at ourselves and be like, oh, we're ugly, you know, compared to the light-skinned people.
And they explicitly show that in movies. Like usually the person who's being made fun of or the girl who's being made fun of is usually dark, and that puts in a big dent on like a young person
Honestly,
watching it.
Yeah, especially I feel like in Kuwait, like people would make jokes about dark-skinned people, like in the sense like they'll be like, oh, if you switch off the light, you can't see him anymore, and I'm just like,
oh my god,
ayo.
Those are the worst jokes.
That makes me, I feel like my cousin once told me a story of like, I think it's true, but when he was in middle school or something, because his friends made fun of him like for his skin color, he was pretty dark, he put powder and went to school. Like he covered his face in like,
that's a general
powder.
practice. I know you were saying it as one isolated story, but in India, even I'm guilty of that. Like in middle school, it's like kind of a given that you put on the powder.
Not makeup powder. He literally took a bunch of like, not makeup. It's just like,
like
regular
powder
and like covered his face. So it was like, oh, he was a kid, but like, wow, like, you know how it affects the mind?
Mm-hmm.
It's not good.
Yeah. All right, that was a great, interesting topic and a great conversation. To watch more of our conversations, check out our YouTube channel at WatchYNN.